Well, happy Thursday, Marcus Heflin. Welcome to the G.R.O.W show, buddy.
How are you, man? Thirsty Thursday. How we feeling today, brother?
Man, I'm feeling great. Got to do a call for one of my buddies' teams up there in Connecticut earlier this morning, so I'm warmed up and ready to rock, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I think we got a pretty good show today, and we are excited for everybody out there who has shown up for your checkup from your neck up. And we're about to jump into it because, Kyle, are you having a good week? Like 1 to 10? What would you say?
I think I'm hanging like a 7.
7. Cool, man. Cool. I would say I'm about an 8. We've got some really cool momentum happening. Me and you, and then here locally, and then just internally, and the whole thing. And I'm sitting here, and I'm on my high horse, and I'm like, ooh, 8 to 10. Let's do this. And then we talk about our guest, and he's going to tell you about the week that he is having. Guys, we are honored to have back a wonderful coach, a human being that to meet him is to love him. He's got one of the most contagious personalities and energies. You know, when you're around this person, you just feel better. And my goodness, that smile can brighten up an entire room. Please welcome the talented, the relentless, and the positive Jerry C. Wells. Come on in, brother. How are you today, sir?
Man, I'm doing awesome, man. How are you doing? Kyle, Marcus, it's great to be back with y'all, man. I love it.
Look, he's flashing the smile already, Marcus. I don't know if he's doing that to make everybody feel better or make them feel worse about themselves that he looks so good. Like,
what is there not to smile about? Come on, man. Well, I have a shirt that Kyle, I think you and Katie got me. It's in my closet right now, and on the back it just says "Smiles." So I think this is just part of me.
That's part of it. Part of it.
Hey, Jerry, real quick. I know a lot of people out there have heard your resume. We're going to get into a little bit of that today, but instead of an intro of how you got where you are, why don't you just tell everybody how the last 7 days of your life has been?
So I can do this the long way or the really, really quick way. The quick way is this: I got a baby in a bowl. I got a baby in a bowl. I don't think you can beat that. No, man, it's literally been the craziest and best last 7 days. I've never felt so blessed in my life. Literally last 7 days. 7 days ago, my baby girl was born at 5:25 in the morning. And yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I'll tell you more about that as well. Like, it's literally been a faith week ever since then. And of course, on Sunday, Kyle, I think you were probably the closest person to it. We also happen to have a Super Bowl, so
come on now,
go Birds, baby. So this is kind of how my week has been.
There you go, dude.
New sweatshirt. New hat, new sweatshirt. So that's been my week, man. It's absolutely phenomenal week. Absolutely phenomenal week.
Here's what I love about Jerry, Marcus. That dude is on cloud 9, and anyone who's ever had a newborn before knows that they're wonderful and challenging, right? And this dude's still just like,
yeah,
man. You know, Marcus, doing the intro, you said, "Hey, we're going to welcome back Jerry," and I text Kyle. I was like, "So Kyle, like, what are we doing tomorrow? What exactly are we talking about?" And I just remember last time I was here, I brought this up, right? Fear, faith, you choose. And with this week being the absolute greatest week ever, it didn't come without challenges, right? Even my baby girl, she was born at 34 weeks, 3 days. And we had a emergency C-section. We weren't expecting her to come for another 6 weeks. You know, take the small stuff away, like the fact that I had a house cleaner coming and I was like, I got to reschedule this. It was just, how is she going to be?
Yeah.
So she's in NICU. She's been there obviously the last 7 days. Today is day 7. And we were there yesterday, talked to the pediatrician, and they goes, well, she was born at 34 weeks, right? I was like, yeah. They said, well, I'll be honest with you. She's been here 6 days. She doesn't seem like she's 6 days old. She doesn't seem like she was born at 34. She's behaving more like a 38 weeker. And we're like, yeah. And it was great to hear that from the doctor, because literally every single day of us going there, the nurses are coming in and they're like, oh my gosh, like I love baby Remy. She's so awesome. Like, I can't believe she's doing this. I can't believe she's doing that. Like, that's not normal. And I can tell you that before she was born, hearing the words, emergency C-section, we gotta go now. Even when they said it, we're thinking like, oh, we got a couple hours. They're like, no, we're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember just praying, just like, I just pray everything's going to be okay. Right. We actually had worship music playing in the ER or OR. And it's literally been a fear or faith you choose. Like, where are we going to be at in this moment? So, fast forward a few days from there, this sweatshirt, believe it or not, while it was delivered on Tuesday, it was ordered. I guess it was Thursday or Friday. It was ordered. Again, I'm thinking like, hey, you know what? We're gonna take this. We're gonna win this. So it's been a faith week, man, and I love it because it's just confirmation. It's like, what else is it that I get the opportunity to have faith with in my life right now? Like, what else is going on? What other challenges are there that I get to say, hey, like, God, you got this. Whatever you say, whatever you desire, that's okay. I'm here for it.
Man, I'm a couple things. One, you talking about the emergency C-section. That took me back to baby Coco being born. And we speak for a living. And when that nurse came in, Jerry, I applaud you with taking the faith route. When that nurse and doctor came in and said, yeah, we're switching gears. And it was like a NASCAR pit crew came in and they were gone. Right. Yeah. Dad, stay put for a second. We got this. I'm like, about, right. And we speak for a living. And the only words that could come out of my mouth to the doctor was, do good. Right. That's literally all that I could muster. Jerry, I applaud you, man, because one, thank you for sharing your story. But two, guys, take in for a second all the good, all those stressful moments in life. Having a baby is stressful, even though it's absolutely amazing. He stayed in faith and he got to stay in the moment and appreciate the moment even more. Whereas personally, I went straight fear, bro. I was so fear. All I remember is sitting in a chair by myself in this vacant hallway and the doors and I was just like, I wasn't enjoying a thing. I was terrified.
They didn't let you back?
Huh?
They didn't let you in?
They did, but I had this moment of like 3 minutes in this metal chair outside the door. And like, I'm not allowed initially. And the fear though took everything away as far as like living in it and appreciating it and just taking it in. And that's exactly what fear of faith does.
Yeah.
And, we coach that those are two energies that clash. So when you have faith, it actually eliminates the fear. And Jerry, when you had faith in that moment and you were able to be more present, you created a whole different experience and appreciation for every moment.
Absolutely, man. It's interesting because, I know we've talked about this before on the coaching side of it, that when you're excited and when you're anxious, it's literally the same part of your brain, right? It's the same thing. And I think a part of it was the same thing. Those like 3 to 5 minutes when they're telling you to sit down and like scrub in on the outside, you're dressed in this all white. I remember sitting there and literally, man misting a little bit, misting a little bit. And I'm just like, oh man, like, okay, what's getting ready to happen? And I thought back to myself, when have I ever felt this way before? Right? When have I ever felt this way before? Because that's a pretty unique feeling. And the last time I felt that way, I told my wife this was just before we got married on our wedding day, when I'm standing up there at the altar and waiting for her to come down. And I'm like, there's an excitement and a nervousness all at the same time. And you're not exactly sure what to make it. And she starts walking down and I'm just like, all right. If you've seen the pictures of me, it was a little bit more than a man missed that day. It was like a tropical storm that day. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? That whole thing ended great. Like, it was amazing. And that's the same way I feel right now. This is going to be great. This is going to be amazing. Like, we get the opportunity to reframe our thoughts, right, all the time. And we get the opportunity to say, okay, what I feel right now what's the reason I feel this way? How else could I feel?
Mm.
And if you can garner the opportunity to take that positivity for anything and just focus on that, you don't need everything to be 95 to 99% chance to be excited about it.
That's a fact.
Right? If there's a 1% shot, guess what? We're going to take that 1% shot and I'm going to make the best of it. So thank you for the 1%, right? Like that's my mindset just moving forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see why we like Jerry. Like the guy is hard to hate, man. He's easier to love than anything else. And this dude is just dropping wisdom bombs on us. How can we bring this to outside of personal, right? And to the business? Like the call that I was just on, we were talking about the stories that we tell ourselves around lead generation. And like, what if you take a playbook from Jerry here and focus on the good things that could happen from it, instead of creating all of the stories around the bad things that are definitely going to happen that never actually do?
Yeah. Let's see, you're lead generating, you're making a couple calls and you get a couple no's. Okay, great. Go get that yes. That one yes is going to come from somewhere. And when you get that one story, what is it like now to share that one story with everybody? And I'm not even talking about share that one story with other agents. All right, so Kyle, Marcus, think about this. You have one client that is having an extremely difficult time finding a home.
Mm-hmm.
You decide you're going to take their pre-approval letter. This is not a pre-approval letter. It's kind of like my version of the golden letter here, right? And you're going to go and door knock, and you say, "Hey, I got a client. I got some people I'm working with. They're trying to find a house, man, and they're already pre-approved. I actually have their pre-approval here, and I was just wondering, like, have you thought about selling your home, or do you know anybody else in this area that's thought about selling their house? I'm just trying to match them with the right place." And you finally get that yes, and now every other buyer consultation you have, you get the opportunity to talk to your new buyers, your new clients, and say, "Hey, Marcus, look, I can promise you this. I'm going to do everything that I can do to help you get to, help you accomplish your goal, help you get in the house." As a matter of fact, I was working with this one guy before. His name's Kyle, and I remember, man, he was working with another agent. He said it took him like 6-7 months, and they couldn't find anything. And I told him, just point out the house you want. And I went door knocking, and I literally matched him with the property. And if it comes down to it, man, I'll do it. I'll do the same thing for you, Marcus.
Yeah.
Right. If that's what we get to do to get you in the home that you want, I'll do the same thing for you. Right. We just took something that was challenging, that was difficult, whether it was lead generating or whether it was actually working with a client, and we made it a story that we now get to tell. Like, storytelling is everything in our industry. If you're not telling a good story, you're probably not having a great business.
Okay. We can end the show now. Everybody go grab a golden letter for your buyer and just start door knocking.
For real though.
And yet it starts here first, because if you're door knocking for that result and you're going to get, bummed out after the first 10 to 20 no's, that's not actually the goal here. Jerry tied, once I accomplish this. Didn't say after 20 doors, didn't say after 10, right?
Wow.
Once I accomplish this is going to be a story. This is going to be something I can put on my resume. This is going to be a raving fan that I earn. That's what your mindset's tied to, not the outcome, the journey. Jerry,
100%.
I love that. And I'm not going to continue down this road without revisiting something you said earlier. How else could I choose to feel about this? That you did it with the golden letter right there. You did it in your personal. You also did it in the golden letter. When we give ourselves permission to explore how else we can feel about something, you give yourself permission to have a different experience within those walls. And that is awesome. So really we could reframe that in any capacity of life.
Absolutely. And man, you made me go back to maybe 2 days ago. Let's see, the Super Bowl was on Sunday, so Monday, Tuesday, AJ Brown put out a post talking about the journey, right? And he said, "I thought I was going to feel great, and I did. It didn't last long, exactly 2 days." And he said, "I realized that it's not winning the Super Bowl. It was literally about the journey. My joy came from the journey. And then he ended it with saying, let's get back to work. Right. I think a lot of people enjoy the journey more than they enjoy the outcome. Right. A lot of people enjoy the journey. They enjoy putting the work in. They enjoy feeling satisfied, all those great things. And that doesn't necessarily come with, signing some papers at the end of the day and handing over keys. It's like, man, I feel awesome that I was able to take this person who thought they weren't going to be able to buy a home or thought they weren't going to be able to sell their home and walk them through this stuff and see a smile on their face every 5 seconds because they're like, holy smokes, like this is great. So it's the journey. It's the journey. I think I don't know if we pay enough attention to the journey sometimes either.
Agreed, man. And that fear is going to show up on the journey. And then, like you said, how else can I feel about this? And then you have a choice, right? Everything goes right back down to that simple choice. I choose to focus on my faith, and you're not a guy who just talks about it. You are about it, right? And you're giving us just great examples of how you employ that exact tactic in your life. And, like you said with AJ Brown, one of the things that they found is most people, high performers like that, one of the times that they're most depressed and let down is after achieving the big thing. After they go right back down, because you said it's the journey, man. It's always the journey.
He was excited for 2 days. 2 days. That's it.
After a Super Bowl.
After Super Bowl.
The Mecca.
I'm trusting he's going to be more excited tomorrow on that 3-mile parade. And yet we'll see tomorrow.
It's funny. I kind of had this hit my head while you were speaking. People enjoy the journey. Like that you just said that people enjoy the journey. Yet as coaches, we find out that so many people, they enjoy the journey, and yet they tell themselves they're not enjoying the journey, and that they'll only enjoy the outcome. And anybody listening, they're like, what? Hear my heart for a second. When you go home, after a really great day of showing up and doing your thing, how's that feel?
Yeah.
That fulfillment, that self-pride that I did that, like that. I can go home and I can hug my kids tighter. I can be more present. I can hit the gym with clarity. Whatever the things that you do, you feel better because you knocked out that journey that day. And yet I think a lot of people tie their happiness to outcome, and they lie to themselves that they're actually enjoying the journey. And then when they don't enjoy the journey, it's probably because they're not traveling the way they should, right? That day. So I love how you put that together, man. I just think we should reveal that a little bit to everybody, because when we enjoy the journey, my goodness, our life becomes a whole lot more fun.
Absolutely. A million times yes. Right. When you enjoy the journey, you get to focus on making adjustments. You get to focus on changes. You get to focus on, what you get to do next. Right. When you enjoy, and it's so crazy. I think a lot of people, like you said, they tie their happiness to the outcome, and they don't realize that their outcome only comes because of the journey. Right. It's walking down that path, and every time you get to a fork in the road, deciding which way you're going to go and saying, hey, am I going to choose to explore this way that I've never taken before? Right. I don't remember that light shining over there. You know what? I'm going to check this out. We're going to go this way. And yet it's like, nope, I just gotta hit this one goal, and that's it. It's just hitting this one goal. It's not just that one goal. It's not just selling that house. It's not just getting somebody to say yes. It's literally the growth that you get throughout that journey. Because here's the thing. I may be able to get one person to say yes. I may be able to get Marcus or Kyle to say yes. And yet, how many other people said no because I was so hyper-focused on getting just Kyle or getting Marcus to say yes? I could have gotten 27 other yeses. Right?
Yep.
But I'm not paying attention. I'm not focusing on journeys, things like that. Me, it's literally, I'm going to enjoy every single day. I'm going to enjoy everything that I can possibly enjoy. I don't care what it is, right? Coffee machine's broke. I'm going to figure out how can I go crunch this coffee up with a couple pins and brew it myself, and we're going to make this work. I don't care what it is. I'm going to find a positive thing inside of whatever it is that's in front of me, and I'm going to enjoy. Like, I don't even know where the coffee thing came from, and yet It works.
I love it, man. That just signifies you in this talk about journey and like embracing the hard, right? And enjoying that part of your life. There's an old saying, an old quote, and it goes like this. It's like, no one is sadder, no one is more depressed than the person who comes to the end of their life untested, because they will never know how strong or how amazing they could have actually been.
Yeah, man. You know, it makes me think about, and I don't know if this is still in there or not, the 5 regrets of the dying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happens. You get to the end and you are full of regrets if you don't enjoy that journey. Right. And you also talked about embracing the hard. I'm looking up here at my wall in front of me. I don't have all the great stuff in back of me. All
Step
of
your
my
game
stuff
up.
is on the wall in front. I get to look at it.
It's because he's selfish, Marcus. He's selfish. He just wants to see it. He wants to hide it from everybody else.
Sure, there's
It's
a cool
stuff that
wall
I
behind
get
the
to
camera.
use every single day. And I have this one over here, and it says everything is hard before it's easy. And if you think about how challenging something is, in my mind, the more challenging it is, the harder it is, the more difficult it is, the better the outcome is going to be, and the more I'm going to grow. Right. I'm trying to think, like, I thought I was a pretty good athlete in high school. Right. I ran track. I ran sprints, and I also jumped. And I remember going undefeated for an entire year, indoor and outdoor season, until I got to got out of my comfort zone, which is out of my district, out of my state. And we got down to Junior Olympics. And I remember going down to Junior Olympics and competing. And I was like, oh, like, this is different.
Yep.
Left there, went to college. And I remember my first few jumps, like, it was the same thing that I was doing in high school. And I felt pretty good about it. And then my coach started teaching me how to jump the right way. See, in high school, I didn't have any coaches that could teach me how to jump. They were great for teaching me how to run and sprinting. They couldn't teach me how to jump. That was all just natural ability. So I get to college, and I have a coach, Coach Stacy Smith, phenomenal. And she's teaching me how to jump the right way. And I lost about 3.5, 4 feet off of my jumping distance, my triple jump distance, for about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. And then once it became comfortable again, once I was able to work out the kinks, right, once the hard part was over and I was like, okay, we got this, I gained about 4 to 5 feet from what I had been jumping previously. And I think that's the part of the journey that people don't pay attention to. Yes, that journey is going to be challenging. That journey is going to be difficult. That journey is going to be uncomfortable, right? That journey is going to have you in a fear zone, right, for a little bit. That journey is going to take you out of your comfort zone if you allow it to. And yet, when you decide to move out of that comfort zone, right, when you get through that fear zone and you move through the learning zone, you get to that growth spot, and you're like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get to look back at it and you're like, what's next?
Yes.
Like, if I could do that, what's next?
There it is. You've proven it to yourself, right? I love that, man. I love that. So a couple of things I learned. One, AJ Brown, had he focused on, instead of focused on a Super Bowl makes me happy, you need to call AJ. All right. I mean, I know y'all are tight. So call AJ and be like, hey, man, your new mission, your new contentment, your new vision for you is what defines a Hall of Fame career, because the Super Bowl is just a chapter in that journey. So that'll help him enjoy that Super Bowl and yet not lose sight of, right? Not be demotivated. Hey, agents out there, are you want a storied career in real estate, or are you just looking for a house, right? And then Jerry, I love what you're breaking down here. Really, my biggest takeaway from the jumping analogy is, if I lost 3 to 4 feet on my long jump, that means I just stayed standing in place.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, I mean, you can jump further than 4 feet at a time. One, why? Okay. Two, what? Hey, Jerry, man, as always, please come back because everybody loves you. We love hanging out with you, and you've got so much value. Is there anything, if people wanted to get in touch with you, how can they reach out? Like, what are you doing these days? Like, if they wanted to be in Jerry's world, how can that happen?
Well, what am I doing these days? Currently, I'm running back and forth between the house and the hospital for probably the next few days. No, so here's what I tell everybody. Shoot me a text, call me, 254-495-4018. You can also email me. You can reach me on Facebook, on Instagram. I would say Instagram more than Facebook.
Yeah.
You can find me almost anywhere. Just reach out. I respond to just about everybody. And I say just about because, you know, on social media, you get those weird people every once in a while.
Yes,
They don't get responses. If you're an agent, reach out to me. If you're a leader, reach out to me. If you're thinking about it, reach out to me. Like, I love helping people. And really, really quickly, I gotta touch on this one. Marcus, here's what you said about AJ Brown. Right. And you talked about him having a mission. Again, that's where people get confused. People focus on a goal versus having a mission. Goals are things that we can hit and that's it. And then once we hit it, it's over. Missions are something that last forever. We are consistently working to accomplish the mission. Right? That's why businesses have mission statements and vision statements and not just set goals. Goals are for the year and they change all the time. Missions, we're constantly working for this thing. Right? With Coalition, our mission is to be the bridge to the community for all things real estate, lifestyle, and wealth building. That's our mission, which means that no matter how many homes we sell, no matter the volume, we are always working to help change people's life, help them accomplish the lifestyle they desire, help them build wealth. And we do it through real estate. And that says no matter what we do today, we get to do it again tomorrow because it's our mission. It's what we're focusing on every single day. So I think that's something else. Agents, and leaders, if you do not have a mission statement, it's time to develop one and use that to live and use that to really guide everything that you do every single day.
I wish I could. Can I drop this? Can I drop this for him? Jerry, man, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you. We're so happy that you joined us, man. And I know everybody grew this morning being a part of the show. So can't wait to have you back. Thank you for those final words and final thoughts around mission. Guys, go get after that mission and vision you've got for your life today. And we will see you back tomorrow. Thank you again, Jerry. You're the man.
I appreciate it. Ugh.
Go Birds.
Dad gang, baby.
You said it.